Hola amigos, we're here at Chalet Chloe, and we are gonna tell you today how to knock out demo in 6 easy steps. So starting with number 1, right? And I took some notes just to make sure I don't miss anything. We're gonna disconnect our utilities, and that's gonna be gas and electrical. Gas is a super long lead time, so you want to get after that quick, otherwise it will delay your project for months. Right here, this guy behind me is where the gas has been capped at the street. So that's just a safety precaution, and that's gonna allow us to, not have any huge explosions or anything like that. And then with the electrical portion, essentially what we're doing is just having the power line disconnected from the house, wrapped up, and again, that's a safety precaution. What's next, Lily?
So in the city of Austin, especially, but we care a lot about trees, you have to do a process called tree protection. For any trees that are protected on the property that are not going to be cut down or demoed, there is a process of protecting them and inspecting that. So the first thing that you'd like to do is actually meet with your inspector on site and show the inspector what the plan is for tree protection, where you're going to be putting chain link fence, if there's any specific things with critical root zone where that's going to be protected. Having that inspector come out beforehand and reviewing your plan is a really good step in the city of Austin to make sure you don't put up all your tree protection and then the inspector goes, no, I want to move that fence 2 feet over there. So have that pre-meeting with the inspector, then put up all your tree protection. Once your tree protection is up, then you have the inspector come back out, inspect that tree protection, and then you've passed that part of the pre-demo step checklist.
That's right, and that might include some silt fence, and it's very relationship based, as Lily mentioned, so you want to make sure that you're in tune with what that inspector needs. Then it's going to be temp water and cap sewer line, right? So obviously we don't want anything to go into the city sewer line that's not supposed to, so a licensed plumber has to come out, cap that sewer line, and then you need water, and the water is going to serve multiple purposes. One's going to be dust control. It's also just so people have water on site. And something I like to do that's unique is I like to stub out 2 water lines, and that allows you during construction to have one dedicated to just general use, and then you can have additional one dedicated to things like sprinklers and watering plants or anything like that, and it won't get shut off. You can see right here, here's my 2 water spouts, and I think that's a really good tip for all y'all builders out there. In the city of Austin, right, and this is going to be more regional, but this generically would probably apply to most instances around the country, just in your specific municipality, in your specific way. We're going to have our 100 building pre-con, and that's going to involve meeting with the inspector again, right? And this is going to be your building inspector, and they're going to provide you door knockers and a sign that is posted. This is our sign right here. So I won't give away the address or anything, but you just post this, fill it out with the inspector, and that allows all the neighbors to know that the house is coming down. And if somebody has a big issue that they need to bring to the attention of the city or anybody else, they have an opportunity to do that before that officially comes tumbling down.
Yeah, we like to go an extra step and actually get the neighbors' contact info, share our contact info with the neighbors, make sure that everybody in that surrounding area knows who we are, what's happening, and when it's scheduled to happen. So when you put that sign up, that's when you can actually schedule, here's the date that we're targeting for demo, and you want to give 5 to 10 days notice. It depends regionally on where you're at on what those requirements are, but you want to give a decent amount of notice to your neighbors and be a good citizen there.
Totally, and there might be some nuances involved with that, right? Such as we have a neighbor to the left of us that we set out cones because they're doing Airbnb and they needed parking for their tenants, and we just went and did some above and beyond there. So it's always a great idea to butter up the neighbors and be really nice. So associated with that inspection is going to be something called the RDA, and that's a refrigerant disposal acknowledgement, and that means that we have removed all the refrigerant from the HVAC system and that we've noted that to the inspector so that we don't have Freon leaking out in the air, and then also that we've checked the boxes that we have officially put out all of the door knockers and posted the signs to the neighbors, and that gets you through that 100 pre-con inspection.
Yeah, so that's a big deal. And then if you've got trees that you're demoing that are so big and so large and so tall, you may need to have tree toppers come out and kind of clean off the top of those trees before that actually gets demoed. So that's just an as-needed step.
Right, yeah, this is for the super tall ones. And then finally it wraps up with demoing the house and also demoing any remaining trees or tree trunks on that site. That process happens very rapidly with the bulk of the house. And then from there, go ahead.
Yeah, so they sprayed it down here. They're doing a water spray down because we're preparing to put this cloth through the house, and that's going to help with some dust control. So you'll get a lot of it done in 45 minutes. The full process is going to take 2 to 3 days to really knock that out. And do you want to talk a little bit about cost?
Yeah, absolutely. This project that we're on right here is an older home from the 1950s, bungalow. It's probably in the range of $20,000 to $25,000 all in. Square foot cost, I'd say $8 to $12 a foot, generally speaking, for the house itself. And then trees are going to be an extra cost.
Yes.
And
depending on slab or pier and beam, there's a lot of factors that go into that.
Right, and this is a lot of good information for anybody that's trying to demo a house, and these are all the steps so that you understand the logistics. But we highly recommend what, Lily?
Really working with a very reputable demo contractor here in town. So we're working with DAR here. They handle all those steps turnkey. They can handle that for you. Meeting with the inspectors on site, handling the trees, handling the tree protection. So all of that start to finish. You can work with partner with a fantastic demo contractor. They can help you with that. But it's always good to have a superintendent.
Always good to have a superintendent, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, and DAR can help with plumbing and permitting as well. And lastly, with the superintendent, basically you just want to have the above and beyond in terms of communication. You want to over communicate. The trees specifically, you want to mark the holy heck out of the trees with spray paint and all this different methods of communication, just to make sure that you do not mess that up and take down a tree incorrectly, because a lot can be lost in translation with plans, and sometimes when you're sending stuff on phones it can be too small. So it's nice to have a big set of plans on site and basically a checklist that involves multiple steps so that you have checks and balances, so you don't take down a tree that you're not supposed to and end up with an unhappy circumstance. Yeah. So that's how you take down a house
in 6 steps.
So we hope that was helpful.
Keep following along with us on Chalet Chloe for the rest.
Adios, amigos.